Confirming. What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, January 31st, end of January 2019. Special guest today, Eric Brown of Aliant Payments. And we're going to intro him in a second. But really, before I do, crypto adoption. Social media, Twitter, YouTube, crypto, everybody talking about crypto adoption. But I think sometimes it's good to take a minute, take a step back, and really comprehend what that word looks like. We see it so often, adoption. What does that actually mean? What does it look like when it's happening? What's that process look like? And I want to read a quote from a recent press release out of Aliant Payments. Eric Brown said, "We're offering free crypto processing so that merchants can experience the ease of our CryptoBucks platform and the value that it brings their business." This is merchant integration. This is crypto adoption. This is what it looks like. And, this video, this live stream, this guest is important in the story of crypto adoption into the mainstream. So if you want to pay with Litecoin, if you want to pay with Bitcoin, here is the adoption process. This is what it looks like. Crypto transactions being processed seamlessly within merchants. So I want to welcome Eric Brown once again to the channel. What's up, Eric?
Hey, how's everybody out there? Thank you. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. We got to make a habit of this, especially when you're doing big things like CryptoBucks. Obviously, I have some questions for you, but to start things off, I would like you to kind of just explain, CryptoBucks. How did it come about? What is it?
So, CryptoBucks is the branded version of our, cryptocurrency payment portal. So we wanted to give it a name, a recognizable name, and, something that merchants could, easily, understand. And CryptoBucks is basically bridging cryptocurrency with fiat currency. And that's kind of how we came up with CryptoBucks as a name. So it has a lot more features now as well. But this is something a product that we will market directly as CryptoBucks directly to merchants. So not necessarily through a lot of the other payment processors. This is a product that we basically designed the pricing program and what we wanted to do with the merchants in mind. And that's how we came up with it. Got a little lucky on getting the name and the domain and all of that. CryptoBucks was actually available. So that's how it came about. So it's kind of fate, I think, is stepped in on CryptoBucks.
That is a very good point, CryptoBucks. I remember telling you on the phone, I don't know how you locked that in. I don't know how it was even available, but well played, sir.
Catchy, yes. Catchy, cool.
It is. It's very catchy.
Yes.
So, you're offering that. So just for some context, just so people know, how long has Aliant been around? How many transactions annually are you processing?
So we've been in business for 16 years. This is our 16th year. Many sponsor banks and credit card processing platforms. We do a lot of traditional credit card processing, debit card processing in a lot of different business models. We process a little over $2 billion annually on our traditional products right now.
Okay. So just so everybody knows, because I know that crossroads of crypto adoption into the payment space is doubted by many. But with such high volume transactions coming out of Alliance, I think that's the perfect crossroads for this process of adoption to begin. So I guess let me ask you, what was the process of deciding on offering crypto free of charge? Was it like an aha moment? How did you decide on doing that?
No, I don't think you aha anything for free. I think you have to definitely have it well thought out. We were actually looking at, what can we do to give back, basically, to merchants and to community and figure out, some good marketing plans and so on and so forth. Originally, it came up, the idea was to do free processing for charitable organizations, which we thought was a great idea. So, we wanted to look into that and get that out there and say, hey, look, we'll process the transactions now that we've got everything fine tuned. Guys, there's cost to this. We've got labor costs and as far as building out software programs and payment portals and things along those lines. But we felt like it was important that, we have the big picture in mind. We're looking at this as multi-year, decade. And so we decided to go with charitable organizations. And then I was really sitting around going, you know what? I think we should just do this free of charge all the way around. A couple minor, qualifications for regular merchants. We just want to make sure that they open a credit and debit card account with us. They just have to process a small minimum amount a month on that, but we will process the transactions. Cryptocurrency transactions up to $100,000 a month in cryptocurrency for for-profit corporations. And then for charitable organizations, we're just kind of leaving that open right now and just seeing what the size of the organization is and all that. But no stipulations. We'll just do it free of charge for charitable organizations.
Okay, so so that kind of answers the question how the idea came about, and does that kind of also speak to the why? I mean, the question is because they're all cross to this, right? I definitely understand the reason for charitable organizations, the motivation there. It's such an awesome way to influence the space with a certain amount of passion and help people, and that's a great approach. Does that speak to the why of doing it for merchants as well, though?
I'm a big believer in it, and I think that we have the abilities of doing this for free. I think that we have other products. We've got a good base of clients, and we're constantly kind of forging forward. And cryptocurrency has been really good to us. Litecoin Foundation has been very good to us, and so I think what happens is, with Aliant growing and expanding, it allows us to do this program. And I want merchants to, I go, look, there's an easy way to get somebody to try it out, and that's don't charge them for it. So just say, look, try it out. It's free of charge. I mean, we're not charging you to set it up. We're not charging you to maintain it. You can cancel it whenever you want. It's literally that easy. So when you make something that easy, curiosity is going to get the better of the merchants. They're going to try it out.
Agreed. And it just kind of from there snowballs into other things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have the big picture in mind, the kind of business that it's going to bring to you eventually. And that's what we have in mind. And when it comes to payments, is you got to have a very broad picture, getting into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, which I love even more. Blockchain, the more and more I learn about it, the more and more I like.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I always say as an entrepreneur, like there are so many different angles in crypto space to kind of snowball something into something awesome. And, it kind of just starts with doing something, right? So
yeah,
your something is offering this to your merchants. So speaking of your merchants, what are, you mentioned there are qualifying conditions. It's pretty simple in terms of the amounts that they're processing, correct?
Yeah, they're going to process, a minimum of $10,000 a month, in credit card and debit card transactions. So you're talking about that's only $120,000 annually. Those are, pretty small entrepreneur type businesses. So, and then we will process up to a maximum of $100,000 a month worth of cryptocurrency. And so, we felt like the stipulations were pretty easily obtained.
Okay, cool. And now there are no types of stipulations for charitable organizations, just to kind of make that clear for everybody.
Yeah, nothing with the charities, I mean, we're going to try to process as much as we can for them and, continue to do that. I think that's important. It's like if you look at some different ways that you see how entrepreneurs or businesses get funded nowadays, and everything evolves and changes. And so for a charitable organization, they're always struggling getting funding and donations, and how do they get donations, and so on and so forth. And we knew that we could help with that. And so that's what we're going to do.
Cool.
And looking forward to it too. So
yeah.
if you guys got a charity out there, let us know.
Absolutely. Everybody in the chat, make sure you follow Aliant Payments on Twitter. So I was going to ask you, obviously there are benefits for charitable organizations you just spoke of. In terms of CryptoBucks thwarting the traditional hurdles that credit cards offer, what are some of those benefits?
The benefits to CryptoBucks?
Yes, things like fraud and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So, chargebacks are one of the main factors. Right now you have card brands, Visa and MasterCard, American Express, and they play judge and jury on transactions. These are true financial transactions. So they're going to be very straightforward. When you move money, like I did this week, we moved money over to London, and it was just fun watching it go so fast, and it was so inexpensive, and it was just great to watch and do. And I was actually sitting down and doing it. So it was a lot of fun, but you've got speed, better costs, and not so much speed at point of sale. We obviously know that needs to, I know the guys at Lightning Labs are doing some good work. BlockFuse, I know those guys are working on stuff right now, and that'll come along. But, when you're moving money over, international lines and things along those lines, or across state lines, and you can do it quickly, you can do it cost effectively, no chargebacks, and be pretty secure. I'm very secure about it. I would ask people right now, if you wanted to take a form of, let's say you were selling a car, you wanted to take a form of payment, would you take a check? I mean, would you even take a certified check nowadays?
That's a good
question. Right. Yep. You probably wouldn't. But would you take a Litecoin?
Heck
absolutely. Yeah. Would you take Bitcoin? Absolutely. So I think that, it's just common sense to me. You can just see it. And being in payments for so long, it just makes a lot of sense. So there's a lot of benefits to the merchant.
Yeah, I think that's what's so relevant with this, like me talking to you, is the fact that you've been in payments so long, and it's such a huge doorway for, like I said, this thing that everybody's talking about, adoption of crypto. So
right.
No one better to tap into the market and to bridge the gap than someone like you, who's been in the payment space for so long.
Well, you have to bridge it. That's the key. You really do. You just can't expect millions and millions of businesses and trillions of dollars, and at this point trillions of transactions worldwide. You just can't expect them to all of a sudden and flip to a new currency. It's got to be something that you have to bridge the gap, and you have to let people get comfortable with. And that's just our experience in the payment industry. So when we started doing cryptocurrency, that was important, and I was pretty confident that was going to work. And now if it's free, give it a shot and find out if it does work.
Yeah, people do love free, Eric. They
people
really
love free. I got this t-shirt for free from Johnny Litecoin. Thank you very much.
He's everywhere. That shirt is literally taking over Twitter.
It is. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
I love
it. Thanks, John.
I have a couple of questions. One of them just came in from the live stream here. I thought it was a good question. Lucador EMC said, but how will you attract businesses that are run by regular Joes that have no basic knowledge in cryptocurrencies? What's that process like?
Yeah, that's really how we designed it. We designed it so you don't have to know anything about cryptocurrency, which is great. We do all the work for you. You basically just kind of have to have your basic knowledge of how you're running your payments right now. I mean, our payment gateway, I just did a presentation at one of our trade shows. It went really well. And I kind of made a joke about, stealing the model of one of my friends that owns a big payment gateway. Because, there's a certain layout that we're all used to, and the joke was because a lot of us use the same layout. That's what we designed. We just made it very familiar. So if you're just the average Joe, it's just getting somebody's name, getting somebody's email address, and punching in $100 and sending it off on email. It's really that easy. Our quick pay button now, that's all it takes. So you don't have to know anything about cryptocurrency to be able to accept it in your business through our program.
Yeah, it's kind of more, it's allowing the merchants to cater to their customers that want to pay with
Right.
cryptocurrency. And
I would pose that question like this to Luke. Thank you, Luke. It's a good question. Luke, in my business and in my industry, and with consumers, we ask the merchants, do you really care how we process a transaction on the back end? Do you really care what really happens? The answer is no every single time. They care that their money, it's their bank account. They care about what the fees are and how fast. Consumers are the same way. Do you really care how a transaction works in the background? And they really don't. So for us, that's our job. Our job is to facilitate that movement of money.
yeah, that's a really good point. I even saw, when we were kind of advertising that we're doing this live stream on Twitter, I saw a comment, I forget who made it, but they basically said, and this is a big concern that many people have is, nobody's going to do this because cryptocurrency is too volatile. I don't think they really understand what you've set up here and what is set up, that it's actually seamlessly converted into fiat.
Right. Yeah, and I think as the word gets out, CryptoBucks gets out there a little bit more. People will see, how easy it really is. We've had some merchants come aboard just of late, and it's been really busy since the beginning of the year. The first week was quiet, but man, it's been super, super busy. So I think once the word gets out, and it's kind of like, it's grassroots kind of stuff, right? I mean, you got to have people, one person tell another person. You've got a John Kim out there, who's going wild, telling everybody, about cryptocurrency and how easy it is. And I think people do get a little intimidated because it is such a new technology and so on and so forth. And, that's what we, guys, that's what we get paid to do. Our, is to handle that for people and, move those funds. We've been around a long time doing this, very well trusted business. And, I think that's what's going to gravitate people our way is the trust factor as well.
Absolutely. Here's a question from Blue Oyster on the live stream. Does Aliant have a list of merchants that use their service? I'm not alone in wanting to support businesses that accept Litecoin. Why not have Aliant advertise their customers?
Yeah, so we do. We've got a couple journalists. One I think from Forbes, also Bloomberg. People that have asked us about client lists, and we're definitely going to promote that on our website as well. We are doing a full teardown and rebuild of our website right now. It's a big project. It's going to be really, really cool when it's done. I'm personally overseeing it. And so that's going to be part of it, is promoting, mapping, having people be able to see where a business is at, click on the map, and know where it's at. So yeah, it's definitely in the works. But the old tech list seems to be getting longer and longer because I keep coming up with these crazy ideas that I want to do. So the list is quite lengthy right now.
That's good. That's good. It all takes time, right?
Yeah, it does, definitely.
Meatport in the live stream says, are retailers going to offer discounts for using crypto? So, I mean, are any merchants you're getting on board, are they kind of doing that at all or not really?
Yeah, it's a big part of, I think for adoption to happen, I think we want to develop a rewards program, whether it's some sort of rewards program we can all tap into, which actually that's a good idea. Maybe I'll start working on that. Or if it's just a rewards program that we build out, or the merchant builds out, whether it's a discount or it is some type of rewards, getting a benefit for using this currency is important. We definitely want to do that, and the merchants are going to see the benefit of better fees than what they have with credit cards that just continue to climb. So if you're paying 3% on a transaction, it's $100. But you can, let's say your cost is 1 and you want to dish out that other 1% back to your customer for being a good customer and using that form of payment. I think absolutely that's something. But of course, that's a merchant decision. But we know rewards program's important, and it's something that's on the list. I believe it's somewhere in the middle.
Okay, cool. So let's pivot over a little bit. You're obviously wearing a Litecoin shirt,
Yes.
and I see you in the Slack channel.
Yep.
In what capacity would you say that you kind of work with Litecoin Foundation, as well as them helping you as well in this venture of crypto adoption?
So I think what we bring to the table to Litecoin Foundation, besides for being able to process cryptocurrency and the CryptoBucks product and so on and so forth, is we bring a pretty long-standing understanding of compliance in the payment world, how to vet companies, make sure that when somebody is bringing a payment product and wants to talk to Charlie or Keith or somebody along those lines and talk about Litecoin, you want to vet these people. I mean, cryptocurrency is still definitely, there are some good companies out there, but like any business, there's other companies that are not that great. So I think part of what we bring to the table is being able to look at these companies and know if they're legitimate, and then let the foundation know. There's companies that have come in and are in the payment space that we can look at it and go, yeah, they're set up right. They have the right licensing and so on and so forth. What have they done for Aliant and us? Wow, it's kind of hard to quantify a little bit. I mean, just the relationships, meeting everybody in San Francisco, I think was big. The referrals have really started taking off. So we work directly with Litecoin Foundation. They are a not-for-profit, and so when we can get in there and process cryptocurrency transactions for people that come to Litecoin Foundation, that's our main goal. That's our main gig, is to get in there and get the merchant signed up, get them done, and be very responsive back to these people. A lot of them are learning. They want to implement a payment product, and then just everybody who's been involved with it, the tech that we've learned, and some of just the ideas, as Dan, being in the Slack channel, some of the ideas that get thrown around in there are really great. So when you've got literally like an army of people, constantly feeding in ideas, it's look, you don't want to be the lonely man on the crypto island. You want to be in the Litecoin Foundation, and we're very pleased to be affiliated with Litecoin Foundation.
Yeah, I think if I could explain it illustratively, it would be, you talk about bridging the gap, right, for crypto adoption. So every time I see an idea brought up in that Litecoin Foundation Slack channel, whether it's you or somebody else, it's crazy to see everybody just kind of like a bunch of crazy workers gather around on this bridge to try and build that next piece, and in brainstorming. Really, it's just a bunch of brainstorming. It's really cool. It's really cool to see.
And everybody has their what they're talented at, so and I continue to, set up calls. There's a couple of new people. Common Enemy is one. I'm using their Slack channel and Twitter handles. I mean, we know their names, but we're chatting with them next week, and to continue to make those relationships. And some of the deals that we are working on, Litecoin Foundation, and we work together, basically hand in hand on them. There's some significant deals going on right now, and not just in the United States, but in other parts of the world. And it's pretty exciting because there's a lot more activity this year on the merchant front that there was last year.
Oh yeah, I mean it's almost like night and day, right? A lot.
Yeah, it really is. Oh yeah, it's. I mean, we've been extremely busy. I mean, my office has been, working at a pretty high level as of late,
which is awesome.
Yes.
So tell me, you talked about other deals going on. Are there any, I know John Kim called in on the live stream yesterday. Are there any deals or anything in the works that you can kind of talk about just to paint a picture for everybody?
Yeah, so I'll tell you some of the deals that are done, and then some that we're working on. There's a couple that we can't, we'd love to, but we can't. So Yeah, John Kim brought, the Bob Moore Auto Group, to the table, and it's a signed done deal. And that was pretty impressive. I mean, to go in and a major, auto group, they're up in the New Jersey area, which my neighbor knows them. He's from New Jersey, comes back and forth down to Florida. And so a pretty well-known name in the automotive industry. And to go in there and, talk to them about the benefits of accepting Litecoin, and cryptocurrency was big, because guys, it's simple. One auto dealer that, starts accepting cryptocurrency, the others has to fall in line, so the Bob Moore Auto Group is they're innovators, they're leaders, they're one of the first people through the door. As you know, as I do, it can be a little tough. It's a little bit of a leap of faith, but it's pretty rewarding once you actually go through the door and meet everybody and you're like, oh, okay, right. To me, it's like being, it would have been like, being at the infancy of the internet. That's really where we're at, so I'm extremely happy they brought the deal to us, very thankful for that. They could have brought it anywhere, but they brought it to Aliant. And we're looking forward, to working with Bob Moore's Auto Group for sure.
Yeah. And that's just one. It's like everything else
Just
we're talking about. It just kind of snowballs, right? Bigger and bigger, more eyes, kind of gathering around on what's going on.
So some of the potentials right now, we've had quite a few chats with professional sports. My business development person, we've got a new hire that's a couple months ago. He's extremely talented, been in payments for a long time. He's had chats with, a professional basketball team. I know Litecoin Foundation has had, professional sports. We've had chats with 2 NFL teams now. So there's some definite interest. One of them was very, very interested. Unfortunately, I can't say who they are, but to let you guys know, these businesses and the ones that are really competitive and the ones that get it, they're all over this. They're not going to let somebody else get out in front of them. And when it came to the payment industry, we've done no less than 20 calls in the last week and a half with other payment processing companies like Aliant. It's been a little hard to even keep up. There's been so many of them. And one of them is one of the country's largest high-risk processing companies in the country. Pretty confident they're going to be signing up with us. We just, it's just basically kind of going over the terms at this point. And, we're seeing those guys get it. The lights are starting to come on there. And that was a lot. That was really great to see this year because we weren't quite sure how that was going to go. But the payment industry guys are starting to understand it. And this is one of the best parts. I did a trade show. I was up in New Jersey. I don't know, maybe 400 people in the room or so talking about blockchain and crypto for the payment industry. Every time we put up a new slide, third of the room, half the room is holding up their phones, taking pictures of the slide. And that was something that just kind of shocked me. And I was like, that's how interested they weren't doing that in other presentations. That's how interested they were to learn that they were actually taking pictures of each slide on the big screen every time I flipped it.
That is awesome. They don't want to miss the boat.
I did it once really quick just to mess with them. So just to watch the phones go up and down fast.
That is awesome. So real quick, anybody that's just joining us, just to give you a synopsis of the news that we're talking about right now from a recent press release of Aliant Payments, Eric Brown, we're offering free crypto processing so that merchants can experience the ease of our CryptoBucks platform and the value that it brings their businesses. So, with that being said, you have all eyes kind of gathering around and watching what you're doing, whether that be payment processors, other payment processors, or, professional sports teams, NFL teams, right? People are getting interested. They're becoming curious of the benefits of crypto. So that's kind of what we're talking about now on this live stream. So you just mentioned you were at a conference of some sort. So I guess what have you been doing in the space in terms of conferences and speaking. I think you have a lot on your agenda right now, correct?
Yeah, so I'm traveling every single month for work, and maybe a ski trip here and there in between after the trade shows. Um, yeah, every single month. So all of the we will be doing all of the traditional payment industry trade shows. I think 5 or 6 of them lined up right now. We will be doing Electronic Transactions Association, which is the big show, which will be in Vegas. They're the ones that appointed me to their technology council committee this year, which was a nice little honor. And then all of the regional shows, we're trying to speak at every single one of them, networking with everybody. And then we're at the CIS show in Los Angeles in April. I think Charlie's a keynote speaker on that one, and I'll be on the payments panel. So this year was a real effort to get out to all of the, make sure and get out to all of the industry trade shows, the cryptocurrency trade shows. I've been invited to some of the sports entertainment trade shows now, sports marketing shows. And so we're just getting more offers, and then trying to speak at as many as we can to get the word out there.
Definitely. We have Perosi says history in the making. I agree. I mean, that can sound dramatic, but I mean, I agree. Like this is a big stepping stone, this type of thing. We have Jamal. He says, hey, Dan, is Eric just looking at retailers in the States or also in Europe and around the world? And if so, how are the retailers out with the States reacting to crypto? What have their thoughts been?
So, for us, it's a little tough because we convert to fiat currency and then we're pushing the payment. So that's really the hard part, just moving cryptocurrency around is, there's lots of options for that. So Europe, we see more activity than the States, and we've actually, we're penetrating that market this year. So I just had a call today with a gentleman who is in Australia, and their company is based and needed all the way around processing for Europe, basically almost every country there. I would probably say that, because we're actively targeting it, and I have banking relationships and payment processing relationships in Europe, and we would definitely like to get into Asia as well. But you've got to take steps, right? We have the relationships in Europe already, so we're able to tap into those and add crypto to it, and so on and so forth. Where we're even creating an entity there, make sure that we have a national entity, in the UK, and so we're going to continue to get it out there. But because of our model, it's we got to make sure that we stick to our model too. We want to be able to do exactly what we're doing now, and that's bridging the cryptocurrency to fiat currency. So Jamal, I'm working on it, and I will continue to work on it.
It's all a work in progress.
Right.
I want to throw this out there. I mean, obviously, most people on Twitter probably saw us talking about, a 10 Litecoin giveaway.
Yes.
And I want to throw this out there now to give everybody an opportunity. Essentially, it's pretty simple. One person you will give 10 Litecoin to.
Yes.
And all they have to do in this live stream is post a relevant comment that will be picked by you and the team, right? And post that comment in the live stream right now with your Litecoin address. That's pretty good general rule, right?
That's it. We like to change it up a little bit, there has to be just sometimes somebody's got to be the all-out winner of the whole thing, and then other times you want to, divvy them around. So we change them up a little bit, and I was like, yeah, let's just do one, because I know I would be excited to get 10 Litecoin, randomly for watching, a live video of some guy in the payment industry. They probably deserve that 10 Litecoin.
That's awesome. That is so true. And speaking of that, Kat says, Eric, does this bring a spike of excitement back to your industry? And it looks like you have Aliant Payments in here, right? You have somebody in here. they said, Cat, crypto is the most exciting thing to happen to the payments industry in decades. Would you agree with that sentiment, Eric?
Yes. I'm not. Can you guys hear the dog barking in the background? Can you hear it or?
He's the dog is just as excited as everybody else
Yes,
about this
I'm just
news.
gonna let them out because she's gonna keep on doing
It's
it. I
all
was
good,
hoping she was
man.
gonna be quiet. So,
You can do that.
so say again. Question being,
Is crypto one of the more exciting things that has happened in the payment space?
since I've been in it, the two things that are the most exciting, the internet changed the payment industry completely, and blockchain and cryptocurrency will change it twofold from there. I think internet is the infancy of, you know, our digital world, right? And I think blockchain is this is just my personal opinion, by the way, you know. I think blockchain is really going to infiltrate, you know, our lives in a lot of way. And you know, we're basically at the forefront of something that's even more significant than the internet, I believe. This again, my personal opinion, but when it comes to payments, I think this has even a more significant you know, effect on the payment industry than even the internet. But those are the two biggest things. And I started, you know, 1995, right around there. And I mean, man, we were just starting slinging electronic credit card terminals with, you know, separate printers and impact rolls and all that. So we've come a long way.
That is very true. And I mean, I definitely agree. I think it's going to impact our lives in so many ways, even outside of payments. A lot of my clients in the crypto space, you know, they're not working just in payments. I think it's going to have a huge impact. So I guess, what would you say you have to do when and I know we talked about this in the last live stream. I just think it's a fresh question to ask. When you have a merchant, like somebody asks, that doesn't understand cryptocurrency, what do you have to do to kind of get to that tipping point where they're like, oh, okay, I will do it. That's not a big deal. What's that process look like?
Free.
Well, yeah, that has changed since last time we talked. It
That
wasn't
makes
free
a
last
big
time.
difference, you know. I mean, you know, when people make a decision to do something, it's risk versus reward. You know, it's kind of always right. I mean, do I want to cross the street? How far away are the cars? Do I want to wait another minute? You know, it's always risk during reward. So, um, you know, I would say that you know, us being around a long time and being a trusted company in the payment space has made a big difference. I think you have to win over a merchant's trust. I mean, guys, we move predominantly all of their money, you know, so I think that once you've done that for a significant amount of time and you can show that, that's how they're going to make the decision to give this a try, you know. So even somebody like a Bob Moore, you know, here's a guy who's, I mean, they're taking millions and millions of dollars, you know, annually in credit card, debit card payments, and so on and so forth. And you know, when you're making your decision, if you can go with somebody like an Alliant who has a lot of history with that and knows what to do and understands the importance, you know, I mean, we really understand that, you know, you cannot mess around with people's money. You have to get it there in a timely fashion. And you know, your room for error is extremely small. You know, people will 0 to 100 pretty fast when it has to do with their money. So, but a sound service, being a good provider, and then making sure the fees are in order. And that was the free part. So let's just get rid of the fees, you know, and that should entice them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just saw, you know, comments kind of scrolling down the screen. I know there's probably people on here that would like the 10 Litecoin. I actually think that YouTube doesn't let you paste in a cryptocurrency address. So there's a good possibility
Boo,
that
YouTube.
I know that's I think what's happening right now. So we'll definitely have to try and navigate around that. If you do make a comment on here and you want to try and win that 10 Litecoin, make sure to put your Twitter handle at the end of the comments. That will definitely make it easy.
Yeah, if you guys
For
throw some
picking
Twitter
one.
handles in there, it'll make it easy. We'll announce who it is, and then the winner will get a hold of Casey. So if you guys don't know who Casey is, that's the person behind the Aliant Twitter account. So, which she's great. She does a great job. So she will make sure and chat with the winner and make sure that we get their Litecoin address and get the 10 Litecoin to them.
Absolutely.
But you're not qualified. So
who, me?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh man, I was just about to tap in my comment right now. So Amazon crypto option, what's going on there?
Man, is that awesome or what?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's I saw that and I was like, oh God, that's exactly what we need. You know, we need Amazon, we need Walmart, we need Target. I mean, we need one of them's got to come through, you know, and that's exactly what we needed with Amazon. And this is, I might have a different point of view than a lot of people might have on this. But you know, Amazon is not a company to be pushed around. You know, I mean, if they want to accept crypto, who's going to go in there and tell them no? You know, when they've made that decision, you know. So I think that you know, you might have, you know, last year heard, you know, is Bitcoin really going to be around, or you know, you never hear those comments anymore. Whether Bitcoin's really going to be around, are they here to stay? I mean, it's obvious they're here to stay. And that should be the point that everybody looks at. And then here's an Amazon that looks at it and comes to that decision and says, yeah, you know, look, Amazon's not making decisions lightly on something like this. You know, they're not just dabbling, they're looking at the future. So, and the team that those people put together, you know, I think it's great. I think it's great. You know, nice job, Jeff. You hit me up on Twitter whenever you want.
So I have Dominic LTC. He says, as a small business owner, I see every day how cryptos will take big and small businesses to the next level. And I've been to his business. I know Dom. And by the way, makes the best sandwiches in New Jersey.
Okay.
And he accepts Litecoin. And I think it's a perfect example. Someone like that can see the relevance and the importance and the usefulness of crypto from that level. I think it says a lot.
You know, I think that it's the people that get it. You know, we had, and I'll be, you know, I think what we've tried to do on Twitter and then also your show is really give the people out there a very straightforward, you know, how we look at things. You know, we're not trying to pump anything. We're not trying to fluff it up or, you know, we're giving really straightforward views at it. And there's people that get it and there's people that don't, you know, and I would say that the people that don't get it is, you know, we're going to go on to the people that do. There has to be synergy there. And I think it's great. Someone like Dom and the benefits that you get all the way around, you know, the social media benefits, the marketing. I mean, guys, it's just not accepting a currency. You've got to think of it in different ways than that.
That's so true. That's a very, very good point. I saw somebody else ask, man, I wish I saved it, but it was basically talking about Litecoin and how it's useful, or why do you think it's useful? Could you speak to that a little bit, especially being you're wearing a Litecoin shirt?
It's fast. Watching Litecoin move on our platform, you know, like when we move it in for transactions and move it into our exchange and liquidate and so on and so forth, it's just so quick. You know, I mean, I moved 200 Litecoin across the Atlantic in less than a minute. And the fees are great, you know, and I think it's Charlie has done a really good job of, you know, making sure that Litecoin is out on all the exchanges and it's easy to buy. I think what happens is when you get to some of the coins and some of the altcoins and guys, I'm not going to get into the coins. That's all your guys' thing. You know, we're in the payments aspect, but you know, when you go to buy a coin and you have to go to a certain exchange or you got to move it from Bitcoin to this, to that, to get that coin, you know, that frustrates a consumer, you know, and I think with Litecoin, it's very easy to obtain. You can buy it at a lot of places. It's cost effective. It's fast. And I think that it will definitely be, I think Litecoin is going to have much more usage on an everyday basis with consumers out there than Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's price will at some point will get so high that it will be truly stored value. It'll be something like, you're going to have it in your little hard wallet buried in a safe under the floor of your house, and every Bitcoin's going to be worth $1 million. Hopefully that ends up on Bloomberg tomorrow. Eric Bronson's going to be $1 million by next week, by the way. So I think Litecoin's, it's just, you can see how it can scale. So from a payment side of it, I look at it, but from the consumer side, Litecoin is what I would use, Now, hey, if I'm going to go buy a G50, yeah, I'd probably use my Bitcoin. But how many people are out there buying a G50?
Well, maybe if we can enter that bull market soon, maybe a handful more.
Yes, then we might even go for the 60. Do they have a 60 yet?
I don't know.
I think they did come out with one.
So, I was kind of browsing yesterday. I came across I think it was Forbes. Yeah, it was a Forbes article. The title was, and I'll let you answer the question that this title poses. Can blockchain really bust through its barriers in the payment space?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, look, if I'm doing it, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so, somebody asked me the other day, I don't know if she's actually listening or not, like, why are you doing this? And for everybody out there, it's like, I'm not doing this for, the money, and, I think our business is successful and so on and so forth. I truly see this as an opportunity to do something that, you might be remembered for. It'd be fun to go to a party sometime and go, yeah, I brought cryptocurrency to the NFL. And somebody's going to be like, oh, yeah, right. I'm like,
Exactly.
whatever, and I think that's the reason why, I'm doing it, because I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a really good point, especially from entrepreneurial perspective. Like when I was running my recruiting firm outside of cryptocurrency space over a year ago, mainly in fintech, it's just the pivot from, just traditional fintech startups into the crypto world, right? I'm still doing the same thing, recruiting executives and engineers, but infusing my business with something that actually excited me and, I felt passionate about, it just makes a different impact on the way that you run your business. It gives it a different type of energy, which I think is really cool. And it's something I'm just seeing everywhere right now with other business owners doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's true. Especially I've been running my business for a long time, and I really kind of grew up in this industry. I've never done anything else before. So, you get to a point, I think I got to a point where you felt like you knew it all. God, that's a big mistake. I think people get there, in a business. And then, you have the ebb and flows financially, and, successes. And then you get to a point where, you definitely do know a lot, but it's kind of the same old thing every day. And this was, I like to do projects, I like to build Jeeps. It's just, I'm a project person. And to me, Alliant is like a gigantic project, and blockchain coming along and cryptocurrency, it was like a new badass motor for the Jeep or something. It was just like, oh, this is okay. And I really got, I was really back into it. I was very enthused to get, do a lot. I've dedicated more time to work even, and it's absolutely true. This is something that has really invigorated me to, even do more. And again, it's not for the money. It's to do it. I want to see how far we can take it.
100%. Same here. Yeah. Same here. I have to read this comment real quick. So,
okay,
you guys do your thing, you pick a winner, but I really like this. I really like this comment. Cam Shram says, the best in the game, call them Aliant. Just go with it. Don't be defiant. Completing your transactions without any subtraction, gaining attraction, get signed up to use those CryptoBucks.
If you're going to make a bid to win 10 Litecoin, that obviously is pretty strong. I couldn't sit down and write something like that in a month. So yeah, I definitely like it. And it's kind of fun on Twitter. you know, seeing people's reactions to cryptocurrency in general. But some of the activity that we see, and to give you a great example, so all you guys on Twitter, we really do appreciate it, by the way. So ETA appointed me to the committee, right? And it got a, you know, I went on Slack channel and said, hey, let's show ETA a little bit of love. And so I saw some of the likes and so on and so forth. And I went and scrolled through ETA's Twitter account, right? And I was like, oh, wow, we're the top hit on their Twitter. Sorry, ETA, but we're the top hit on the Twitter account for like months. You know, they've all these new things, but here's this my face picture, which is horrible on that one. And I just thought it was really funny, you know, and that really comes from the guys out there in Twitter land, social media, and you know, the Litecoin Foundation is just this huge supporting cast. But yeah, it's definitely made it a little bit fun for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy the impact of social media, and even when somebody comments, they don't realize they're making an impact. They many times are. So, you know, we're getting close to wrapping up here. I want to read this closing statement from the PR that you released the other day. You said, our goal is to make cryptocurrency every merchant's favorite form of payment by allowing them to experience the benefits with a trusted name like Aliant, handling the processing and funding for their business, speaking to CryptoBucks. So, I mean, if you could leave anybody on here with some final thoughts in regards to CryptoBucks, in regards to what you're doing, what would you say?
Well, Starbucks has a catchy name, right? So CryptoBucks. That's really what we want it to be. I mean, you know, I never even thought about it until I just sat here now and realized that the names are so familiar. But I want CryptoBucks to be a really a household name, you know, a PayPal type name, and being able to offer it. And our goal is to be just extremely competitive. We are going to, I mean, we are going to outcompete everybody else out there when it comes to payments and when it comes to crypto. I mean, I think we've set the tone, and it doesn't really matter to me which company is out there, you know, the Squares of the world or whoever, which I love Square, by the way. I think they're a cool company. But you know, we're setting the tone, and we're going to keep going down this road. And we want CryptoBucks to be, you know, a household name. CryptoBucks is a long ways to go yet, guys. There's a lot of things that we're doing there. You know, we're looking at consumer wallets, rewards programs, you know, integrating crypto credit cards and debit cards into the one wallet is big. We've already got hosted payment page, you know, on the map. I've got a good buddy. Hopefully you're out there listening, Kevin from Z. You know, we're hoping that we're working out a deal with them, a big payment gateway. And there's a lot of stuff in the works, not just the, you know, the pro sports and the merchants and all of that stuff that's going to have significant value moving forward. And yeah, we want people to use CryptoBucks and be confident with it. And yeah, have it be that household name.
Now, is CryptoBucks, is their website live right now, or no, not yet?
Yeah, it's just redirecting right now to Aliant's site. So we have a huge web project right now. It's really big, but we had some other projects that we were working on that we're just finishing up. So I have a call with my lead designer tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. So we are, you know, a lot of build out there, but what's going to be just basically a seamless sign up, reporting, marketing, everything that's going to be done online. Everything will be there. Library will be there of all the different ways you can integrate the different products, what the services are. And what we're going with is modern, minimalistic, high resolution, and a real nice, easy flow. So merchants are really easy to sign up, and a very straightforward when it comes to pricing, even on the traditional side. So we're just going to make it really easy. You know, we see some other people with some really good models, and we're taking a little bit of the best of what we see, and hopefully we're going to come up with something that is that people are really going to, you know, find very easy to use.
Absolutely. Well, Eric, I love having you on the channel, man. You know I do.
Man, it's always good being on the channel with you, bro. We always a good show, always a good time. That's for sure. Do we have a winner? Let me see if Casey's telling me if we got a winner or not, real quick.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering how quick she's going through all these comments on here. Because it would be really cool to be able to announce a winner. I'm not sure how much time she would need.
Okay, so she says Meatport is the winner.
Meatport.
Meatport.
Wow.
MEATPORT.
Okay. I know Meatport on there. I seen him on Twitter. What I wonder, did she say what?
She said Cam Schramm was definitely great with the rap. I guess they just, they were just randomly picking. They were picking some out. But Meatport, you're the winner.
There he is.
Meatport,
he said,
I need you to, if you could, I need to make sure I get your Twitter handle. And you need to get in touch with Casey. You can DM her on the Aliant social media account and 10 Litecoin. So the deal is you just can't sell that Litecoin for the next 5 years, bud. So gotta hold on.
And he has to sign that contract, right?
In that 5 years, in 5 years from now, you're gonna be really, really happy that I said that. No, Meatport, whatever you want to do with your Litecoin. Me personally, I like to hold mine.
I think a hold. He seems like a holder to me.
He seems like one too.
That's cool. Did she say what his comment was? That one or no?
I'm not.
Maybe
exactly
it was his question.
Sure.
I know he had a question that we asked earlier.
Meatport as the winner. He just had a good answer in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There were a few. She's got a few in here. So, but it looks like Meatport was just won by a hair.
Cool. Good job, Meatport. Well done, man. Given, I think it's definitely, I've given away a few Litecoin on the channel before, but never 10, Eric. Never 10.
Well, let's see how things go. So far, it's been a really good year, but we're going to keep doing some stuff. And I think 10 is going to be, I think we're going to trump 10, by the way. So, I'm not going to tell you what the number might be, but we'll see.
Okay.
There's definitely going to be some others out there. So, all you guys, make sure that you guys subscribe to Dan's channel too. Because really when we're coming out with the latest and greatest, we're coming out on Dan's channel. So subscribe, and 10 Litecoin winner because you subscribe and watch the show. And we're going to be doing, throughout the year, we're going to be doing some other giveaways, and then also updating you guys. I mean, how cool would it be to hear that we're doing crypto for an NFL team and be one of the first to actually hear it and go spread the rumors around the water bottle at work and also on Twitter.
Heck yeah. I appreciate that, Eric. So any final closing words from you as we wrap this live stream up?
Well, I'm curious, who do you got for the Super Bowl on Sunday? Who are you going with?
I got to say Patriots.
Oh, he's on the spot. Yeah, it's hard to bet against that TB5 because he's going to be TB6. I'm going to go with the Rams. Okay. Be down here in Miami. It's hard to bet against the TB5, but I'm going to take the Rams. But that's it, guys. We'll keep on working, and we definitely got some more really good news. But I'm glad that we are able to bring free crypto out to everybody and let everybody know.
Heck yeah. Everybody, you heard it. Free crypto. CryptoBucks. Keep an eye on it. Follow Aliant Payments. Follow Eric Brown on Twitter. Appreciate everybody in the live chat that participated. Congrats to Meatport for 10 Litecoin. Appreciate everybody, replay viewers out there who comments, all the Litecoin Foundation people, Charlie Lee, everybody that's just playing their part in this space to make big things happen. I love watching it. I'm grateful for all of you. Eric, thanks again. I really appreciate it. Everybody.
My pleasure.
We will see you all in the next video. Have an awesome, awesome night, and God bless.
See you guys.